Hello everyone, this is Jasmine from JazzDrawsArt, and here we are with the final week of Inktober 2022. This has been a long and bumpy ride, especially for me, just because I'm not currently in my own house right now. So getting this done was definitely a huge feat for me this year. I'm pretty happy the fact that I was able to get it done, but here for this prompt, the prompt was tempting. Now I decided to go a little bit more what would tempt me. And so I ended up drawing Jamie Fraser from Outlander. Now I haven't drawn him in a while, and not by hand like traditionally, and especially not in ink. So I was trying to also work on a time constraint. So if it's not as good as my other ones, I apologize, but still, I hope you guys enjoy this anyway. It was still fun to draw and experiment and just figure something out. I can tell that it's a little off, but hey, nothing's perfect, right? So, yeah, I tried to think of a few different things for this prompt, but honestly, the first thing that came to mind was, what would I be tempted by? And he was the first thing that popped in my head. And not tempted in a gross way. It's just tempted as in, I love him. So what do you expect from me? It's either that or Spider-Man, but I draw him on my channel a lot, so I thought I'd give you guys a little something else. I ended up using one of my favorite pens that I found. It's a brush tip ink marker pen, and I love it. I think it's a Tombow brand. But if you guys don't have these, it's like a bendy felt tip that's supposed to be like brush-like, but it makes beautiful line work. I really love working in it because you can do thin or thick. Kind of like with the brush, you get really good line weights and you can just really play around with it, and it's just so silky. I really love this. I tried my best to pull things together when I felt like it was falling apart, so I hope you guys like this anyway. You're gonna see me do a lot of like shadow work in a bit, but I started doing more cross-hatching and line work and stuff, so you can get a bit more shading, because I did not trust myself to use my my markers, because I don't have my full set of grayscale markers right now to do all the values, so I kind of had to fill that in with straight up lines, which I think kind of forced me to be more creative in a certain way. But I did instantly regret putting the thicker black lines into his hair, like instantly. But hey, whatever. And if it looks shorter on one side, it's because that part is in shadow. It's not just weird ponytail to the side like it might look. But still, I had fun drawing this one. Alright, so the next day the prompt was ego. And honestly, there was a short minute there that I thought of like drawing Ego, the planet from Marvel. But honestly, who I thought of when I thought of a big ego was Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. I ended up just going with the animated version because that's my favorite, but no one's ego is as big as Gaston. Yeah. I also made him a little bit more thick than he normally is, but I mean, he's the size of a barge, so what do you want? I actually really liked drawing this one, even if, some of the lines bled a little bit. I still had a lot of fun drawing it, just because I like to test myself to see how I draw animated characters or like things that I grew up with, and seeing if I can pull it off the way that younger me would have been proud of. And so I am very happy with this Gaston. Alright, so the next prompt was snack. I mean, I thought of many men that I could have drawn for this prompt to be funny, but I ended up trying to just keep it simple and drawing like just a nice little fall treat, little fall snack. So some Halloween decorated cookies and a steaming hot drink in a pumpkin mug, just because this is kind of my comfort thing for this time of the year, and I I'm not gonna lie, it made me hungry, and so I thought, let's just do snack as an actual snack. Keep it a little more straightforward this time. Alright, on to the next prompt. And the next prompt was camp. Now, I considered doing camp from when in the original series of Star Trek, their movies, when Spock, Kirk, and McCoy go camping, and I thought about it. I just didn't really have the time to get that all done the way I would have liked it to. And so the other thing that came to mind was the campfire song from SpongeBob. And if you don't know the scene or the song, please just go look that up, because it's a huge part of my childhood, and I really enjoyed drawing this one. Even if it was a like really fast doodle, I still really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun making it. I know that a lot of my things tend to be like cartoon themed from when I was a kid, but what do you want? This is my life. Alright, so my next prompt was gear. And you can draw like an actual gear, you know, you can draw any kind of gear you want. I thought of spy gear, and when I thought of that, I thought of Johnny English, and the first thing that comes to mind is the lipstick gun, where he is like brainwashed or something. He's putting the lipstick around his lips, and once I thought of that, I couldn't stop giggling, and so I had to draw it. I really liked this one. This one made me laugh pretty hard. Also, I realized I've never really drawn Rowan Atkinson before, which is amazing because I grew up with him as Mr. Bean and Johnny English and all those kind of things, and Zazu. And so I feel like this is a perfect little tribute to him for drawing him in my Inktober. It was definitely a challenge, but I enjoyed it. And you can tell that it's obviously stylized, but I would have colored the lips red, but I was afraid that my inks just would not look right, and so I'd prefer, if you guys want to see any of these colored, I will color them digitally. Just let me know which ones you'd like to see. Also, if you haven't already, go back and check all my other Inktober things. I've done Inktober before, and I've done Comictober, and of course this year's Inktober. So there's plenty of them for you to watch. And the final prompt is farm. And this one is for Halloween, so I thought, let's keep it spooky, let's keep it Halloweeny, let's do some pumpkins and a scarecrow on a farm. And so I did this little pumpkin scarecrow guy and a few little jack-o'-lanterns around him with different faces, and then some hills, some fields, and a little bit of grass for the up close. This one was more just a freestyle. I didn't use any references or anything for this. I just drew it off the top of my head. I had a lot of fun just making something without the pressure of it having to look just like a photo or anything. It's nice to just feel creative and make up your own kind of thing you want to do, which I haven't actually been able to do for some time, unless I'm doodling for myself that no one else will see. But yeah, so once I got all that done, I erased all the pencil lines and then tried to see what I could add to it to make it look more defined, have a bit more value and a bit more catch to it. Gave the scarecrow a little straw hat and tattered clothing, really ripped up stuff. Again, I was trying to do a lot of line work to see if I could add depth and dimension and shading to it without actually having to fill in a lot. But I did end up going in and filling in some spots where I thought it needed it. And some of it might be a little overkill, but I think that it turns out okay. I also added a few little spiders just to make it a little more spooky for Halloween. I really like the concept of like scarecrows and everything for fall. I just, not like, obviously I know they're actually used, but to draw art of them, I've seen so many cool renderings, and so I thought it'd be nice to do. Alright, here are the final drawings of Inktober, the final week. This is the finale. If you guys want to see all or any of these drawings, they will be on all my social media under JazzDrawsArt, which is including my Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Alright, thank you so much you guys for watching, and happy Halloween whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!